Alright, good morning everyone. Today we're going to talk about how to enchant a perfect sword in Minecraft 1.16. Now when I say perfect sword, understand there's no way to get all of the sword enchantments on there, right? We got all the mutually exclusive sharpness variants being, sharpness, bane of the arthropod, smite, so on and so forth. Personally, I don't bother with any of the variants. I'm a pure sharpness guy myself. I don't want to go about, switching swords between various situations. I want one that'll work generally as well as possible in all situations. So, we're going to talk about how to get the 7 enchantments that you can get on a single sword, pictured right here. Now, obviously, this will also work on netherite. You can either enchant a diamond sword and then upgrade it to netherite, or just enchant the netherite sword itself. So before we get started on the actual enchanting itself, we're going to talk about some things that will help with setup, if you can get them done beforehand. One of which is an emerald farm. My preferred method is this guy right here, which is a melon pumpkin farm that I got from an Elango video originally. I'll link that in the description. Creates your melon slices and pumpkins. You go through and you craft them into melons. Then you take them over here to a farmer trading hall. And trade them up for all your emeralds, right? You'll have to do a little bit of coding, a little bit of selection to make sure the farmers that you get have a melon pumpkin trade, but it's not that much time in the grand scheme of things. And if you have a villager breeder over there, which I will also link in the description, right, it does not take as long as managing villagers used to. I started playing back in like 2012 before hoppers even existed, so managing villagers has come a long way. Anyway, so once you get your emerald farm, build up some emeralds, next thing you're going to want is an XP farm. My setup, the one that I like the best based on, the amount of effort you put in to what you get, are the nether roof zombie pigment XP farms. So we're going to see one of those real quick. Oh, bear with me. I just started playing after a bit of a hiatus. I'm learning to fly again. Anywho, so I've got this zombie pigment nether roof XP farm up here. I tricked it out a little bit. Yeah. I'm only including this in the final video so you can all laugh at how terrible I am at flying right now. Anyway, so I tricked it out a little bit, got your standard XP collection platform right here. I also have our enchanting area with a bunch of lapis off to the side, your grindstone here, an anvil dispensing system, and a sorting system to collect the gold nuggets while, destroying everything else. So yeah, this is the setup I personally like. There's a portion of this that eats XP, like, a lot. So having a setup where you can sit here and collect XP while you enchant is beneficial. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. The first step of this process is to obtain the physical sword that you'll be using. So as you probably notice, I'm a fan of villager trading halls. Used to be my early game solution for enchanting was the AFK fish farm, but as you all know, that got nerfed recently, so can't do that anymore. As it stands, though, villager trading halls are actually better than that in every possible way, so I'm not actually that upset that they got rid of it. It forced me to get into villager trading halls, which are objectively better. So anyway, I've set up this villager trading hall to be able to enchant any piece of gear you want. I've got your toolsmith here, gives you your shovel and pick, your weaponsmith for your swords and axes, and of course your armor for your various armors. What enchantments you end up getting on these top level gears down here isn't super important because we're just going to go ahead, take that guy, and de-enchant it. Next up, we've got all of our librarians. As some of you are probably guessing, I coded each of these librarians to give me a top level enchantment book. I also, however, took some extra time to encode them into regions. So this first region here, we've got are general enchantments. So you've got your unbreaking, your mending, some general armor enchantments. So we've got thorns, protection, right? After this, we get into specific ones for the helmet, the 2 specific ones for the helmet, and then the 2 specific ones for the boots. I understand Frostwalker is a thing. I did not encode a librarian for it because I never use it, so yeah. Anywho, the ones we care about, other than the generic enchantments, mending and unbreaking, that we're going to grab real quick, are on the opposite side. So we're going to run around here to where the rest of my sword enchantments are. Alright, so we've got these 5 gentlemen here that are all of my sword enchantments. So we're going to go through. I actually have a looting and sweeping edge book from a previous attempt. So we're going to go ahead and move those up here. But other than that, we're going to go through and trade for each of these books. To 5. Sharpness. And fire aspect. And the other 2 should be our looting and sweeping edge. Alright, so we've got all of our enchantments. Now the one thing the sharp-eyed among you will notice is that the sharpness book that I grabbed was a sharpness 4 book. There's a reason for this. That's very deliberate, and it's actually the trick that trips up a lot of people. So sharpness 5 is the highest level enchantment for sharpness that you can get, but sharpness 4 is the highest one that will appear on an enchanting table. So the goal here is to drive down the number of mending operations that you do, because each mending operation drives up that enchantment weight, that enchantment cost, that will eventually make it too expensive to continue enchanting. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit here and re-enchant this diamond sword over and over again until we get a sharpness 4 sword with 1 or 2 other top level enchantments thrown onto it. What this does for us is make it so that we don't have to spend the extra XP in order to enchant, or mend those books onto the sword. Doesn't drive up that enchantment cost, keeps it low enough that we can get all these enchantments on a single sword. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to grab some, I've already got some lapis. Go ahead and get started. So we've got sharpness 4 and unbreaking 3. First try. So I'm not sure if that will be enough. Generally, I like to see 2, like sweeping edge, generally I like to see 2. As you saw before, I had sweeping edge and looting from a previous attempt, a successful attempt, I should say. And having both on there was more than enough, but we're going to see if our first attempt getting us a sharpness 4 and unbreaking 3 sword will be enough. I'm going to throw our sharpness 4 unbreaking 3 sword on there. Also, I'm going to move our unbreaking 3 enchantment out of the lineup here, just because if you attempt to mend a book that has an enchantment that's already on the sword on there, it will definitely let you, but you won't get anything out of it, and it will still drive up your enchantment costs. So it's like the worst possible situation. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and start enchanting books on here. You want to start with the highest enchantment number and work your way down. So obviously that'll be sharpness 4 here. Next up, we've got our 3s. So we've got sweeping edge and looting. Next, we've got our 2s. Oh, and it looks like I just don't have enough XP. So this is one of those situations where having this set up in your XP farm comes in handy. So we're going to go ahead and sit here and grab that XP. Shouldn't take more than a few seconds. This is a really nice farm. And we've got our 33 levels of XP. And there you have it. One sword, 7 enchantments. It is ready to be used, ready to be upgraded to netherite, and that is all. I do this in every survival world I make, a little bit of setup costs associated with it, but once you get the full the full villager hall setup built, you can make a full set of fully enchanted diamond gear in like 10 minutes. Overall, it's a little bit of an overpowered setup. That's why I said I wasn't really upset about not being able to fish farm anymore, because it turns out fish farming isn't that great when you have villager trading halls. As I said, I'll link in the description all farms shown, and hope this helps out.